Gananam tva ganapatikam havamahe kavim kavinamupamashravastaman Jyeshthārajam brahmanam brahmanaspatana shrunvannutibhis seedasadanam Shri Mahaganadhipataye namaha Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave namaha Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om. Dear friends, we read this 12th shloka in the last class. 12th shloka, that was Anishtam Ishtam Mishram Cha Trividham Karmanah Phalam Bhavatyatyaginam Pretya Natu Sanyasinam Kvachit. So the overall context is about karma. What type of karma has to be done, and who is eligible to totally give up karma, who is not eligible to totally give up karma. A person who is a realized person, he is eligible to give up karma, that is, he is eligible for karma sannyasa. All other people, agnya means the unrealized one. The unrealized one, he has eligibility only, he has no eligibility to give up karma altogether. He has to jolly well perform karma, but he can only give up the fruit of that karma for chitta shuddhi. If he desires chitta shuddhi, he has to give up fruit of that karma. If he does not desire chitta shuddhi, it is fine. So you are at liberty to do whatever action you want. So that is the overall context. So karma phalatyaga is meant or prescribed for a agnya, agnaha adhikrutaha. So that is what we saw in the last class. So the overall context is that. So this shloka we read, and also I explained the general meaning. So here the meaning just to recapitulate, the fruit of any action is of three types: Anishtam, Ishtam, Mishram. Anishtam, something which is undesired, then Ishtam is something which is desired, and Mishram something which is mixed. So Trividham, three types. This karmana phalam will be of three types. Karma means we are not referring to secular karma like going to office and attending to office work. We are referring to Shrauta Smartha karma. Then this type of threefold result, it accrues to one type of person. That is, what is that type? Atyagi. This threefold result accrues to the atyagi, the one who has not done this karma tyaga. So whereas that is asanyasinam. For this asanyasi, this thing will happen. Natu sanyasinam kvachit. Not for the one who is a sannyasi, not for the one who has given up the karma or even karma phala. So both ways we can take. So let us see the bhashyam. Anishtam uchyate. Okay. Anishtam naraka tiryagadi lakshanam.
Anishtam naraka tiryagadi lakshanam.
Ishtam devadi lakshanam.
Ishtam devadi lakshanam.
Mishram ishtanishta sanyuktam manushya lakshanam.
Mishram ishtanishta sanyuktam
manushya lakshanam cha. We can put a full stop there. Evam trividham triprakaram. Karmanaha dharma lakshanasya phalam. Bhahyaneka vyapara aneka karaka vyapara nishpannam sat. Avidya krutam indrajala mayopamam mahamohakaram.
Mahamohakaram.
Pratyagatmopasarpiva. Phalgutaya layam adarshanam gacchati iti phalam. We'll stop here because the sentence is going on. For the whole very long line is there. We'll stop here and slowly break it. So here Anishtam. Anishtam means that which is not desired by us. What is that? Naraka tiryagadi lakshanam. Naraka is some lower world. Tiryak is the jantus, the animals which move across, whose spine is across, horizontal to the ground. So that is the definition of tiryak. Ours is we have got a spine, erect spine. They have got a spine horizontal to the ground. So that is tiryak jantu. Tiryagadi lakshanam. So that is something which is not desired by us. Then Ishtam Devadi Lakshanam. So going to a superior world, going to a Devaloka or something like that. Then Mishram, Ishtanishta Sanyuktam. So this is something which is a mixture of both Ishtam and Anishtam. That is Manushya Loka. Manushya Loka, where you have got some happiness, some misery, a mixture of happiness and misery is there in the Manushya Loka. So Manushya Lakshanam Cha. So this threefold is the result of any particular karma. Evam trividham triprakaram karmanaha laksham phalam. Karmanaha phalam. This karma's phalam is there for, this threefold phalam is there for karma. And what is that? Dharma lakshanasya karmanaha. Karma, what is the nature of karma? It is of the nature of dharma or it is of the nature of adharma. Dharma lakshanasya. That is, it is of the nature of dharma or adharma. Karma is of the nature of dharma or adharma. Of that, say karma, the phalam or the result is this threefold thing. So that is the thing. Then something more is told about karma. What is this karma? What is more? Bahya aneka karaka vyapara nishpannam. Nishpannam means something which is achieved. Nishpanna, something which has come out, something which is the outcome, something which is the result of. So that is what is called nishpannam. How is it nishpannam or how is it achieved or accomplished? It is achieved by bahya aneka karaka vyapara. Bahya means external, aneka several, karaka. Karaka means kartru karaka, karana karaka, karma karaka, etc. We know in grammar. I am the karta. So I take a pen and write this. Pen becomes say this Karanam. Then Vyapara, writing is a Vyaparam. Then Karma, there is something called Karma. My action results in something, so that the result, whoever is affected by the result, that is the Karma. So Kartrukarakam, Karanakarakam, we say all this Apadanakarakam, etc., etc., we all know. So there are so many Karakas which are involved in any action. Karaka is various factors in an action. Karaka is various factors in an action. So you say Ramaha Banena Ravanam Ahanat, something like that I say. So Rama becomes the Karta, Banena becomes the Karanam, say Ravanam Ahanat. When I say Ravanam, Ravana becomes the Karmakaraka, Ahanat that becomes the Kriya. So there are so many things in that, so many factors in that Kriya. So that is Karaka. Vyapara means activity. So this karma is something which is achieved by so many external factors. There are so many karakas, there are so many factors which are involved in that, and then so much of activity involved in that. So by that, karaka nishpannam sat nishpannam sat means being so, while being so. Then avidya krutam indrajala mayopamam maha mohakaram pratyagatmopasarpiva. This is an important thing. So this is something avidya krutam. So, Atma has nothing to do with any action. The self, the real self, has nothing to do with the action. So, that is what we have been seeing right from the beginning. Atma is something which is untouched by any activity. Nayam hantina hanyate, Veda, say what is this Veda vinachanam nityam yayena vajam avyayam, etc., etc. So, all those things we have seen right from chapter 2. We have seen that Atma is something which has nothing, no connection with the karma. Atma, or which is of something which is of the nature of pure consciousness, it is the thing which illumines the whole body-mind complex. It is a sort of sakshi, it is a sort of witness for all our actions. And it is not connected with any activity. All activity is with the body-mind complex only. But then, we attribute these activities of the body-mind complex to that Atma, and we say I. When I say I, the nature of the real I is that consciousness, whereas we forget about that and then we attribute this word I to this ego. I does not mean ego. I in the normal sense, in the Vyavahara sense, it is ego. I in the Vyavahara sense, it is called Vijnanatma. Vijnanamaya Kosha or Vijnanatma. So that is the ego. So that is a normal Vyavahara level. But at the Paramarthika level, this Ahankara is not the I. Paramarthika level, that Supreme Chaitanya is the I. So that Supreme Chaitanya is not affected, he is totally unaffected by any of these activities. But then, because of this delusive, identification of one thing, superimposition of one thing on the other, so we feel as though this activity belongs to that Atma, Pratyagatma. It is so close to Pratyagatma, or it is binding that Pratyagatma. So that is what we feel. So that is the meaning of this. Avidya krutam, something which is the result of this avidya, Indrajala Mayopamam, it is something similar to some magic which we see, magic which we see on this stage. Maha Mohakaram. Mohakaram means it is highly delusive in nature. It is delusive, it is deluding in nature, it deludes us. Then Pratyagatma Upasarpiva. Upasarpi, Upasarpati. Sarpa, Upasarpa means, you know the word serpent. Sarpati is Sanskrit dhatu. Sarpati is again same as serpent of English. That is going so close, going so proximate. So that is Upasarpana. That is going so proximate, as though binding. So Upasarpativa, Sambadhanativa. That is what one commentator says. Sambadhanati. It is as though it is binding. Pratyagatma Upasarpi. Pratyagatma plus Upasarpiva. Pratyagatma Upasarpiva. Pratyagatma is that inner self. Inner self is that Sakshi Chaitanya. It is as though it is connected with that Sakshi Chaitanya, as though it is binding that Sakshi Chaitanya. Chaitanya is something which cannot be bound. Whereas it looks as though all these actions, they look as though they are binding that Pratyagatma. Is it okay?
Yes,
So Pratyagatma Upasarpiva. So there we can put a full stop actually. Pratyagatma Upasarpiva. Then so all this, what all he said is, all the actions which have nothing to do with this Atma, they look as though they are binding Atma. And why do they look so? Because of our own delusory perception, delusory thinking, because of the superimposition which we have done, the superimposition of this ego on that self which is unconnected with this ego. So that is it. Then Phalgutaya Layam Adarshanam Gacchati iti Phalam iti Phala Nirvachanam. We have read up to this point.
Yes.
So Phalam, what is the etymological meaning of Phalam? So he is again giving the meaning of that Phalam. Phalgutaya, Phalgu means something which is petty. Phalgu is something which is petty. Phalgutaya means due to its pettiness, due to its trivial nature, due to its something which is trivial in nature. Phalgutaya Layam Adarshanam Gacchati iti Phalam. Phala. Phalgutaya Layam Gacchati iti Phalam. So the etymological meaning. We know that in Sanskrit, every word has got some etymological meaning. It is derived either from some root, or some 2-3 words come together and create a new word like this. Phalgutaya Layam Gacchati iti Phalam. Phalgu is one word and Layam is another. So it becomes Phalam. So like that. So because of its pettiness, it disappears very fast. Phalgutaya Layam Gacchati iti Phalam. So the very meaning of Phalam is that which evaporates very fast. Then there is a question. Moksham also is a desired phalam, isn't it? Moksha is something which is desired phalam. We say that moksha is something which is the phalam. So moksha is actually not phalam. Moksha is something which is there already with a human being. It is not a phalam. It looks as though it is a phalam. Moksha means realizing one's own self, isn't it? So that is something which does not Phalgutaya Layam Gacchati does not apply there. So you can't say this moksham also is called phalam. So moksham also is something which is so evanescent, so ephemeral, so evaporating in nature. It is not like that. So it doesn't. Moksha is not like that. We don't say that how do we define moksha? We don't say that we are attaining something. We don't say that we are reaching a particular place called moksha. We say that we are always Brahman ourselves. You are always Brahman yourself. Tat Tattvam Asi, that is what is told. We always say that you are, that you are. Only thing is you have to discover yourself. You have to get rid of all the bonds and then you have to realize that you are that self. So once you realize you are there, moksha is already Nitya Siddha. Moksha is already Nitya Siddha, means it is always there. Moksha is not something which is newly achieved, it is Nitya Siddha. So that is why moksha phalam, when we say moksha phalam, this definition of phalam should not be applied to moksha. So that is it. It looks like a phalam, but it is not phalam because it is already you, it is already yourself. So that is it. So layam gacchati iti phalam, phalam iti phala nirvachanam. Tad etad evam lakshanam phalam bhavati atyaginam ajnanam karminam अपरमार्थ संन्यासिनाम
अपरमार्थ संन्यासिनां
Pretya Sharirapatad Urdhvam.
प्रेत्या शरीरपातात् ऊर्ध्वम्.
So this is the third pada we are seeing. Bhavati Atyaginam Pretya. In the shloka, if you see, Bhavati Atyaginam Pretya. Bhavati, it happens. For whom? So, tad, etat, evam lakshanam phalam. This type of phalam, this type of result happens to whom? Atyaginam, Ajnanam, somebody who is an unrealized person, Karminam, one who is a karmi, one who thinks that he is the karmi, who he is doing that karma, and one who thinks that he is the karta and he is the bhokta. So, for such a person, all this karma phala accrues. An aparamartha darshinam, one more qualification is aparamartha darshi. So he has not seen the reality, supreme reality he has not seen. Paramartha darshi means one who has seen that supreme reality. Aparamartha darshi is not the one who has seen that supreme reality. So for them, when does it accrue? Pretya sharirapata urdhvam, after the fall of the body. So all these results, they accrue after the fall of the body only, isn't it? We say whenever we do a good karma or a bad karma, there is no instant result. So suppose you do yajna in order to achieve heaven. Suppose the God from heaven descends and then right at that time wants to take you to heaven. Then you will say, please wait my Lord, I have got some more work at home. I have to perform the marriage of my daughters. So we will say so many things and then we will try to live, isn't it? So nobody, no yajnika nobody will go to heaven. If the person, if the God were to descend and then if he has to take you immediately. So that is why we say the overall structure which is given is that all this is a sort of some sort of bank balance which is there. That punya is something like a bank balance. This positive merit called punya, it is something like a balance which is there. It is called apurva, and this apurva is something which is in store for you, and then it will start giving result after the fall of the body. Of course, there are some karmas which are meant to get result in this life. Suppose putra janma. Putra janma should not happen after you die. Putra janma has to happen now. Then similarly, wealth. So for wealth, people do some yajnas. So that is something which is in this world. So there are certain things where result is in this world and result is there in the other world. That is drushta, adrushta phala. That is why we say drushta phala and also adrushta phala. So pretya sharirapata urdhvam. Then natu paramartha sannyasinam
नतु परमार्थ संन्यासिनां
Paramahamsa Parivrajakanam
परमहंस परिव्राजकानां
Kevala Jnananishtanam Kvachit.
केवल ज्ञाननिष्ठानां क्वचित्.
So this is the last line. Natu Sannyasinam Kvachit. So all this, say the phala, the accruing of this karma phala, that is the result of, say that any action touching a person happens only in the case of an atyagi, somebody who is not a sannyasi, but not in the case of a sannyasi. And we are now talking about paramartha sannyasi, one who has really given up. Really in the sense, one who is competent to give up and one who has given up. One is paramartha sannyasi and one is aparamartha sannyasi. Paramartha sannyasi is that realized person who has given up karma. Aparamartha sannyasi is unrealized person. So for this paramartha sannyasi, and also he is a paramahamsa parivrajaka, very big word, paramahamsa. That paramahamsa is again one who has that discriminative ability, like that hamsa, like that great hamsa, which is that legendary swan which is supposed to discriminate milk and water. So this man has got that atmanatma viveka, parivrajaka, paritaha vrajati iti parivrat. We know that. So he is not sticking on to a particular place. He doesn't stick on to a particular place because he has no sangha, he has no attachment with any place. So that is why he is always on the move. So sannyasi dharma is also very, very tough. So paramahamsa parivrajakanam. So but unfortunately we use this word paramahamsa parivrajakacharya, that man will be living in a palace like thing. So we use this word paramahamsa parivrajakacharya, padavakya pramana paravara parina, yamaniyama asana pratyahara dharana dhyana samadhyasthanga nishtha. So all these words long, vyakhyana simhasanadhishwara. Have you heard this or not? When you go to some temple, so they will recite all this stotra praising some Swamiji who is there in a palatial ashram. So we are unfortunately calling them parivrajaka, but actually they are not parivrajakas. Parivrajaka is a simple man who moves about. So that is it. Parivrajakanam kevala jnana nishthanam kvachit. So this man is somebody who is in a jnana nishtha, somebody who is stable in his jnana, whose jnana does not waver. So that is jnana nishtha. Then nahi kevalam, kevala samyak darshana nishtha,
nahi kevala samyak darshana nishtha,
avidyadi samsara bijam non moolayati kadachid ityarthaha.
Avidya samsara bijam non moolayati kadachid ityarthaha.
So there are two double negatives here which you have to see. Nahi kevala samyak darshana nishtha, avidya samsara bijam na unmoolayati. You see, it is not that this samyak darshana nishtha will not uproot samsara bijam, avidya samsara bijam. It is not that this samyak darshana nishtha, kevala samyak darshana nishtha, will not uproot the samsara bijam. Is it clear? To put it in other words, it never fails to uproot. So this samyak darshana nishtha never fails to uproot. So definitely it uproots. Definitely it removes samsara bijam, it uproots, plucks along with the root. That is unmoolanam. Moola means a root, isn't it? Moolam is a root. Ut means up. Unmoolanam means plucking it out along with the root. If there is a plant, you just pluck it out along with the root. That is called unmoolanam. So this samsara bijam, unmoolayati, that bijam, that seed which is there, you pluck it out along with the root so that it doesn't again sprout. So that is it. So kevala samyak darshana nishtha, avidyadi samsara bijam na unmoolayati iti na. Means both negatives you put it in one place, then the meaning is more clear. It is not as though this samyak darshana nishtha will not uproot the samsara bijam. That means it will surely uproot the samsara bijam kadachit ityarthaha. Is it clear? This double negative. Okay, then ataha paramartha darshina eva
अतः परमार्थदर्शन एव
अशेष कर्म संन्यासित्वं संभवति
अशेष कर्म संन्यासित्वं संभवति
अविद्याध्यारोपितत्वाद् आत्मनि क्रियाकारक फलानां
अविद्याध्यारोपितत्वाद् आत्मनि क्रियाकारक फलानां
न तु अज्ञस्य अधिष्ठानादीनि क्रियाकर्तॄणि अधिष्ठानादीनि क्रियाकर्तॄणि कारकाणि आत्मन्येव पश्यतः अशेष कर्म संन्यासः संभवति तदेतत् उत्तरैः श्लोकैः दर्शयति. So here the point which is made is atah, therefore paramarthadarshinaha eva means only for a paramarthadarshi, only for a realized person, ashesha karma sannyasitvam sambhavati. That is, only in his case you can talk of ashesha karma sannyasitvam. That is giving up the whole actions in their entirety. Giving up or renouncing actions in their entirety is, it can be talked about only in the case of a paramartha sannyasi and not in the case of an aparamartha sannyasi. Sambhavati. Why? Avidyadhyaropitatvat atmani kriyakaraka phalanam. So all these kriya, karaka, phala, etc., kriya, action, karaka, various factors of that action, phalam, the result, etc., they are all adhyaropita by avidya. That is, they are all superimposed on the self by this avidya. So that avidya is not there in the case of a jnani. So sambhavati avidyadhyaropitatvad atmani kriyakaraka phalanam. So these are all superimposed by avidya, and that avidya, this man has got rid of that avidya. Then natu agnyasya. So agnya means an unrealized person has no qualification to totally renounce karmas. He has only qualification, he is eligible only for karma phala tyaga. That's it. Natu agnyasya adhishtanadini kriyakartruni karakani atmanyeva pashyataha. So this man, he is seeing all these karakas in the self. You see, adhishtanadini, adhishtanam karta. The next shloka we are going to see, there are so many factors which are there in accomplishing any work. There are so many factors which are needed for accomplishing any work. That is adhishtanam. That is, the whole body has to be there. This and the notion of I am doing it, kriya, karta, all these things, they are all various factors which we are going to see in the next shloka. So adhishtanadini, kriya, kartruni, kriya, karta, etc., etc., karakani, and also karakam, atmanyeva pashyataha, that is, the seeing all these things in one's own self. A jnani does not see this adhishtanam, karakam, karta in his own self, whereas an ajnani sees all this adhishtanam, karakam, karta, etc. in his own self, as his own self. So, atmanyeva pashyataha, ashesha karma sannyasah sambhavati. Here it is, natu agnyasya. Natu agnyasya means for this agnya. Na sambhavati, for this ignorant man, this ashesha karma sannyasa cannot happen. Tad etat uttarai shlokaihi darshayati. The same point is being shown in the following shlokas, in the following verses. Uttaraihi shlokaihi. Uttara means the following, the later, those which come later. Uttarai shlokaihi darshayati. Pancha iti. Let us read the shloka. Panchaitani mahabaho karanani nibodhame sankhye krutante proktani siddhaye sarva karmanam siddhaye. See the last pada, sarva karmanam siddhaye. That is for accomplishing any, for all tasks, all types of works. Works means we are referring to Shastrokta karma only, not office going karma, Shastrokta karma. For all those types of, for accomplishing all those types of karmas, pancha etani mahabaho karanani. Hey Mahabaho is the address. O mighty armed person, O mighty armed Arjuna. Etani pancha, these five. Pancha etani. Etani means these pancha, these five. Karanani means these are the cause. Karanam is cause. These five are the factors. These five are the, say these things, these are the factors or components which are there, which are needed for accomplishing any work. So that is it. Pancha etani he mahabaho karanani nibodha. Nibodha means no. May. Nibodha may. May means from me. Nibodha. You please know. And where are they told? Sankhye krutante proktani. Krutante sankhye. Krutanta. So this is a construction which is a new construction which we are seeing. Krutam. Krutam means something which is done. A karma. Krutam is a karma. Krutanta. That is karma anta. The culmination of all karma. That is the final where all karma ceases to exist. Where all karma comes to an end, where all karma culminates. So what is that? All karma has to culminate in Jnana, isn't it? So Shankaracharya is going to explain that Sarvam karma akhilam partha jnane parisamapyate. We have seen in 4th adhyaya, hey partha, Sarvam karma akhilam jnane parisamapyate. It all culminates in Jnana. It has to lead to Jnana only. Otherwise all that karma is again useless. It is of no use to a sadhaka. If it is continuing this fellow in a transmigratory cycle, it is of no use. So karma has to naturally culminate in jnana. So that is why krutanta means karmanaha anta. That is the end of all karma. Cessation of all karma. Cessation of all karma. Where, what is that? That is Vedanta. That is jnana. Cessation of all karma is only jnana. In other words, Vedanta. So for Vedanta he has used another word called Sankhya. Sankhye krutante proktani. This word Sankhya also we know in the 2nd chapter, which is called Sankhya Yoga. We saw there that Sankhya does not refer to the school of philosophy which is propounded by Sankhya, that Kapila Maharshi. We are referring to Jnana. Samyak khyayate atmatattvam anena iti Sankhyam. Samyak khyayate atmatattvam anena iti Sankyam. So that was the definition which we saw. That is that by which atmatattvam, the nature of the self, is very clearly known. That is what is called Sankyam. So Sankhye krutante, in this Vedanta, which tells about the culmination of all action, which means Jnana Nishtha. So there, Proktani. So in that Vedanta, these things have been told. Proktani means these Karanani Proktani. Proktani refers to what? Karanani. Pancha etani karanani proktani. The structure is like this. Pancha etani karanani proktani. These 5 reasons have been told. Where? Kutra proktani? Sankhye krutante proktani. In Vedanta, which is krutanta. So that is it. Proktani. And for what? Karma sarva karmanam siddhaye. In order to accomplish all the all types of karmas. So 5 points or 5 components are very much there. So that is it. Shloka, is it clear?
Yes.
So, Pancha imani vakshamanani he mahabaho.
Pancha imani vakshamanani he mahabaho.
Karanani nivartakani.
Karanani nirvartakani.
Is it, your book says nivartakani or nirvartakani?
Nirvartakani.
I think nirvarta is correct. It is not nivartakam. Nivartanam is retracting. It should be nirvartakam only. Nirvartakani. Nibodha me mama iti.
Nibodha me mama iti.
Uttaratra chetas samadhanartham.
Uttaratra chetas samadhanartham.
Vastu vaishamya pradarshanaartham cha.
Vastu vaishamya pradarshanaartham cha.
Okay. Pancha etani. Etani means imani. Etani, imani are one and the same. Etani. These 5. Vakshamanani, which are going to be told. Vakshamana means something which is going to be told in future. So, hey Mahabaho. Karanani nirvartakani. Nirvartakam means something which is an accomplishing factor. So, or a component which is required in order to do a work. So, that is what is called nirvartakam. Karya nirvartakam. Nirvartakam is that which helps you in doing a particular work. That is called karya nirvartakam, isn't it? So, something which is used in order to accomplish a particular work. Nirvartakani nibodha me mama. That is, you know from me. Then what is that? Why is he saying that? Uttaratra chetas samadhanartham. That is, what is going to be told later. Uttaratra means later. What is going to be told later. Uttaratra means later passages, let us say. Uttaratra means later passages. They talk about jnanam, karma, karta, etc., etc. In all those things, chetas samadhanartham. In order to pay attention, in order to keep your mind fixed on them. Chetas samadhanam, we know. Samadhanam means samadhi only. Samadhi means concentration, focusing your mind, paying your attention wholly. So, in order to ensure that Arjuna pays attention to what is going to be told in the following passages, so that is the overall meaning. Uttaratra chetas samadhanartham means whatever is going to be told in future, Arjuna has to concentrate. Arjuna has to listen to it attentively. So that is the meaning. Chetas samadhanartham. And also vastu vaishamya pradarshanartham cha. Vastu vaishamya. To show the disparity of those factors. 5 points he is going to say. Of those 5 points, he is showing division. He is basically distinguishing and showing. Vaishamya means dissimilar. Vaishamya, the dissimilarity. Vaishamya pradarshanartham. Sama means the same. Vishama means not the same. Dissimilar. Sama and same are one. Sama, same. Vishama is dissimilar. Vaishamyam means dissimilarity. Vaishamya pradarshanartham, in order to show the dissimilarity. So that is the meaning. Pradarshanartham cha. Tani cha karanani. Jnatavyataya stauti. So those karanani, all those causative factors or accomplishing factors, he is Arjuna, not Arjuna, Krishna is complimenting them, stauti. He is praising them or extolling them because they are also very important. Very importantly, you have to pay attention to that. So that is why he is praising them. Praising them by saying that this is not something which is being told by me. I am not telling you what we use one English phrase. I am not talking through my hat or something like that. I am not talking through my hat. I am only quoting what the Vedas say. So that is what it means. We say in English, is talking through the hat. So I am not talking through the hat. I am only quoting from the Vedas. So Sankhye Krutante Proktani. So Krishna also, when we see Krishna, we know that Krishna is an avatar. But he can as well say, this is my order, I am saying this, you do this. He is not saying that. Our tradition is to say, Veda is the collective wisdom of so many rishis. The rishis have seen. The rishi is somebody who has seen, that, say, the eternal truths. So it is a collection of eternal truths which have been collected by the rishis. So that is something which is handed down from generation to generation. And those things, it is as though it is something Brahmanaha Nishvasitameva sa Vedaha. Nishvasitameva. It is as though they have just come out of the breath. It is as though they have come out of the breath of, say, the Brahma, Supreme Brahma, Supreme, not Brahma, Creator Brahma, the Creator Brahma himself. So that is it. So that is why Krishna always says, he quotes Veda. I am not telling as my words, I am telling what is there in the Vedas. So, Sankhye Krutante. Sankhye, where is this? Jnatavyaha padarthaha sankhyayante yasmin shastre tat sankhyam. Sankhyayante yasmin shastre tat sankhhyam. Vedantaha. Krutanta iti tasyeva visheshanam. Okay, Sankhya I just told you. Sankhyayante yasmin shastre tat sankyam. Sankhyayante means well explained. Kya dhatu means explaining something, to throw light on something. Khyati, we know that there is what is called a khyati vada. Atma khyati, asat khyati, etc., etc. There is what is called a khyati vada. We are not concerned now. Khyayante, samyak khyayante means well explained, well elaborated. Jnatavyaha padarthaha sankhyayante means all things which deserve to be known. Jnatavya means something which has to be known. What is that? Atma anatma. What else is there? So this Atma anatma viveka is very well explained in that Sankhya Shastra. What is that? Yasmin Shastre tat Sankhyam. And what is that Sankhya? What is that Shastra? Vedanta. That Vedanta is the Shastra in which everything has been so well explained about Atma and Anatma. Then Krutanta iti tasyeva visheshanam. Krutanta is another adjective for the same Vedanta. How? Krutam iti karma uchyate. Tasya antaha parisamaptihi yatra sa krutantaha.
Tasya antaha कृतस्य परिसमाप्तिः यत्र स कृतान्तः
कर्मान्तः इत्येतत् यावानर्थ उदपाने सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते इति आत्मज्ञाने संजाते सर्वकर्मणां निवृत्तिं दर्शयति. So सर्वकर्मणां निवृत्तिः, that is cessation from all types of karmas. When does it happen? ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते इति आत्मज्ञाने संजाते. It is only when this Atma Jnana arises in the mind of a person, that is Atma Jnana means the knowledge of the self, it arises in oneself. It is only then that all karmas, they become irrelevant. All karmas will become irrelevant. Nivrutti, there is a withdrawal from these karmas, or even if he does some karmas, the karma phala will not accrue to him. So that is what is told. So krutanta, we are now seeing the word krutanta. Krutam iti karma uchyate. Krutam, the meaning of krutam is karma, that which is done, that is a karma. Then tasya antaha parisamaptihi yasya. The parisamapti, the total cessation of all karma, where does it happen? Krutantaha. That krutanta, that type of situation where all karma cease to exist, that happens only in the case of a realized person. So we are leading to that. So parisamaptihi yatra sa krutantaha karmantaha. Krutanta in other words means karmanta. Krutanta is equal to karmanta. Then what is that karmanta? He is explaining. Yavan artha udapane sarvata samplutodake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanataha. So that is what we saw in 4th chapter. So this is, you see there it is referred to a huge water lake and a small say water puddle. So you are sitting near a water puddle and suddenly you have because of your Brahma Jnana is something like that huge water lake. So when you are in that water lake, what is the use of this stupid water puddle, small water puddle? So this water puddle is of no use. So similarly, these Vedas which are comparable to this small water puddle, they become irrelevant once you are in that higher state of awareness. When you are in that ocean of consciousness, when you identify yourself with that ocean of consciousness, what is the use of this small, say, water body? So that is what that says. So all karma ceases to exist there. Then sarvam karma akhilam partha jnane parisamapyate. All, hey karma, hey Arjuna, hey Partha, all karma, it culminates in jnana. So that is what he says. So that means karmanta means, what does it mean? Jnana. Karmante means jnane parisamapyate. Iti atmajnane sanjate sarva karmanam nivrutti. So that is, once a person realizes his self, once a person realizes, or once he has this atmajnana, all this karmas cease to exist. So that is the culmination of all karmas. Jnanam is the culmination of all karmas. So that is it. That is the end. Jnanam puts an end, let us say, not culmination. Jnanam is the culmination, means jnana is not result of karma. We should not take it in that manner. When I say that jnanam is the culmination of all karmas, we should not take it jnanam is the result of that karma. Jnanam is certainly not the result. Jnanam puts an end to all karmas. So that is it. That is how we have to take. Jnana puts an end to all the karmas. So sarvam karma jnane parisamapyate. So iti atmajnane sanjate sarva karmanam nivrittim darshayati. So those lines, they show that all these karmas, they cease to exist once there is realization. Is it clear?
Yes.
Atah tasmin atmajnanarthe sankhye
अतः तस्मिन् आत्मज्ञानार्थे सांख्ये
कृतान्ते वेदान्ते प्रोक्तानि कथितानि सिद्धये निष्पत्त्यर्थं सर्वकर्मणाम्. So atah, therefore, in that Vedanta, these 5 points have been told, and these 5 points are essential for accomplishing any karma. So that is the meaning. So atah, therefore, tasmin atmajnanarthe sankhye, in that sankhya which is there for the purpose of atmajnana, atmajnanartham means that which is for which the purpose is atmajnana, where the purpose of Vedanta is atmajnana. Atmajnanarthe sankhye, sankhya means krutanta is equal to Vedanta. So in that Vedanta, proktani means kathitani, things have been told. Siddhaye means nishpatyartham. Siddhi means nishpatti, that is accomplishing. Siddhi is accomplishment, isn't it? So siddhaye sarva karmanam, that last pada we are seeing, for accomplishing all the actions, these 5 components are very much required. So what are those 5 points? That is the next shloka. Kanitani ityuchyate. What are those 5 say accomplishing factors or components which are required for any action? What are those? Then let us see the shloka. Adhishthanam tatha karta Karanam cha pruthagvidham Vividhascha pruthak cheshta Daivam chaivatra panchamam. There are 5 things which are told here in this shloka. Adhishthanam. Adhisthana, we normally refer this word Adhisthana to Supreme Brahman, isn't it? The Supreme Brahman is the Adhishthanam, that is the base, that is the substratum. For all things we use that word substratum. But here we are referring to the Adhishthanam for action. The Adhishthanam for action, any physical Vyavaharika level, at the Vyavaharika level or at the say the mundane level or Vyavaharika level means the transactional level as we call it. So in the transactional level, what is the locus for this action? The human body, that's all. The human body is the locus. With this body only, body-mind complex only, we do all types of actions. So adhishthanam. Tatha karta. So here the adhishthanam refers to the human body. Tatha, likewise, karta. Karta means the doer. Who is the doer? The notion of I, Vijnanatma, he is the doer, isn't it? You see, for all our activities, who is the doer? The I, the notion of I want it, I do it, I want it, I have achieved it, I like it, I dislike it. So that is that karta is that Vijnanatma, the notion of I. Then Karanam. Karanam is the means. What are these means? These Indriyas. Indriyas are very much needed. Without these Indriyas, there are 10, this is 5 sense organs and also 5 organs of action. The sense organs are there, or organs of actions are there, organs of action are there. And then again, mind and buddhi, manas and buddhi, these two are also counted in the Bhashyam. So, manas and buddhi, manas also has to be there. Without manas, the senses do not work. And then buddhi also has to be there. Manas is only a sort of recording agent, recording level. Buddhi is the decision making level. So these two things are required. Manas is, I just see it, say the Indriya focuses on a particular thing. If the mind is absent, Indriya is of no use. So the mind knows that, oh, this is something. The mind sees something. Then buddhi, it decides, yes, this is X, Y, Z. Then I have to do this. This is good, this is not bad. So this is the decision making level is buddhi. So manas and buddhi are also karanani. So that is why he says karanam, karanani. So karanam cha pruthag vidham. Pruthag vidham is different types. Pruthak means separate. Vidham, different types. Then vividhascha pruthak cheshtaha. Cheshtaha means bodily activities. Vividhaha pruthak cheshtaha. So in the body there are certain other things. In addition to these 5, in all these karanams, etc., there are chestras of this prana, apana, etc. Prana, say this pranavayu, we inhale, and then whenever we do some work, we exhale some action. Whenever there is some tough action, physical action, we exhale air, and then for eating we require the help of prana, say this vayu. For emitting, we require the help of this vayu. So this prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. So these 5 vayus, they do not 5 vayus, only one vayu in 5 different shapes. Only one vayu in 5 different shapes. It does various types of activities within the body. So those prana, apana, chestas are referred to here. So pruthak chestaha, various types of activities. Then daivam chaiva atra panchamam. Daivam means, we call these Indriyas also Deva, Dyotanarthakani, isn't it? Indriya is something which illumines a particular object, isn't it? So, because Indriya is something which illumines, we call it Deva. So, these 5 Indriyas, the 5 sense organs, we call them Devas. So, somehow that is our tradition. We call this Indriya also as something which is godly, something which is divine, because knowing is something which is a divine activity, isn't it? Knowledge is something which is divine. So knowing is something which is qualified as a divine activity. So Daivam here refers to the I. We know that I and all these 5 senses, they are derived from the 5 bhutas. So these 5 bhutas, they are the gods, the Adhyatma Devatas as we call them. Adhyatma Devata means the presiding deities for these, these 5 sense organs. Similarly, for the 5 motor organs, there are again 5 Adhyatma Devatas. For hand, we say the Adhyatma Devata is Indra. For foot, the Adhyatma Devata is Vishnu. Surprisingly, for foot, the Adhyatma Devata is Vishnu. Vyapnoti, because that is by foot only we move everywhere. So that is why foot is Adhyatma Devata is Vishnu. So like that, for all the 5 sense organs and also 5 motor organs, there is a Adhyatma Devata. Manas and Buddhi also there are Adhyatma Devatas. Manas Adhyatma Devata is the moon. Buddhi Adhyatma Devata is Brahaspati. So like that, there are... So the story of Tara Shashankam is something which is built on this symbolism only. Manas is this thing. What is that? Moon. Manas moves everywhere. Buddhi is something which is a discriminating self. Buddhi is Brahaspati. And Brahaspati's wife is Tara. And Tara flirts with this fellow, this mind. So the Tara symbolizes something else. I don't immediately recall. So this is actually Tara Shashanka is a symbolic story. This you see, Brahaspati, that is symbolically told as a story. Brahaspati is there, wife Tara is there. There Chandra goes as a student. Chandra is a very handsome student, and then the teacher's wife falls in love with this, flirts with this fellow. So this is a story for this sort of symbolism. That is Buddhi, and then Tara wife, that symbolism I don't recall. Mind is that Chandra. So the mind moves everywhere. Mind is something like a monkey which jumps around, jumps onto so many objects and desires all the objects. So that is it. So anyway, Tara, I'll just check up again. That is not relevant here. But anyway, this is Daivam. Daivam is the Adhisthana Devata, the presiding deity for all these Indriyas, for all these Karanani. So Daivam Chaiva Atra Panchamam. Atra means, in this context, the fifth one. We are talking about five points, say accomplishing factors. Daivam. So that Anugrahaka Devata also has to be there. So Indriyam is there, but Indriya Anugrahaka Devata also should be there. That divine help also should be there. So that is what it means. Is the shloka okay? Shloka, is it clear? Then let us see the Bhashyam. Adhishthanam Ichha Dvesha Sukha Dukkha Jnanadinam
Ichha Dvesha Sukha Dukkha Jnanadinam
Abhivyaktehe Ashrayaha Adhishthanam Shariram
Abhivyaktehe Ashrayaha Adhishthanam Shariram
Tatha Karta Upadhi Lakshano Bhokta Karanam cha Shrotradikam Shabdadi Upalabdhaye
Karanam cha Shrotradikam
Shabdadi Upalabdhaye Prithagvidham Nana Prakaram Dvadasha Sankhyam. Okay, we'll stop here. You see, Adhishthanam. This is Adhishthanam for what? Adhishthanam means that is something which is the base, which gives the support. This is the support for what? Ichha, Dvesha, Sukha, Dukkha, Jnanadinam, Abhivyakteha, Ashrayah. This is the Ashraya. This is the supporting base. Ashraya means this is the supporting structure. For what? For all these vrittis, buddhi vrittis and all these things, they manifest here. So of course they do arise, they are all buddhi vrittis, no doubt. But then all those things are translated into action in this body only. They are abhivyakti. Abhivyakti means manifestation. Abhivyaktehe ashrayah means the basis, the foundation or the structure where this thing is manifested. So that is what is the abhivyaktehe ashrayah. What are those things? Ichha, desire; dvesha, hatred; sukha, happiness; dukkha, misery. Then jnana, knowing, the faculty of knowing. Jnana does not mean atma jnana, the faculty of knowing. Ityadinam, etc., etc., all those things. For all those things, where are they manifest? They are manifest in this body only. So for all these things, the base is that shariram. Then tatha, likewise, karta. Karta, who is this karta? Upadhi lakshanaha. Upadhi lakshana means that is I, the notion of I, which is identifying with the upadhi. Upadhi means that delimiting factor. The delimiting factor for that Chaitanya is the body-mind complex only, isn't it? Antahkaranam is the delimiting factor where that Supreme Chaitanya is reflected in this Antahkarana Chaitanya, and then Antahkarana Vachinnam Chaitanyam Jivaha. This Antahkarana Vachinna Chaitanya, then this fellow, there is a faculty called Ahankara, the notion called I. So he is the Karta. Whatever action we do, that is the Vijnanatma, he is called the Karta. So Upadhi Lakshanaha means Upadhi Lakshano Bhokta, that is he, one who is delimited in this Upadhi, that is in this body-mind complex, and he is the Bhokta. He feels or he thinks that he is the Bhokta, he is the enjoyer. So that is it, Bhokta. Then Karanam cha Shrotradikam Shabdad Upalabdhaye. Shrotra Shabdadi Upalabdhaye Karanam. Shabda Adi Upalabdhaye. Upalabdhi means knowing. Upalabdhi means knowledge. Upalabdhaye means for knowing. For knowing Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasagandha. Shabdadi Upalabdhaye means for knowing the Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasagandha. This is the Karanam. Shrotradikam. This faculty of hearing, faculty of seeing, the sense of touch, all these things. Then Prithagvidham Nana Prakaram Dvadasha Sankhyam. Prithagvidham means Nana Prakaram of different types. Dvadasha Sankhyam means numbering 12. Dvadasha Sankhyam literally means numbering 12. What are those 12? These 5 sense organs, 5 bodily, 5 motor organs or organs of action, mind and buddhi. So these 12. Then let us read. Vividhasya pruthak cheshtaha vayaviyaha pranapanadyaha.
विविधाश्च पृथक् चेष्टाः वायवीयाः
Pranapanadyaha.
प्राणापानाद्याः.
Your book says?
पानादयः.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Daivam chaiva daivameva cha atra eteshu chaturshu panchamam.
दैवं चैव दैवमेव च अत्र एतेषु चतुर्षु पञ्चमम्.
Panchanam puranam adityadi chakshuradyanagrahakam. What does your book say?
पञ्चानां पूर्णम् आदित्यादि चक्षुरनुग्राहकम्.
Oh, fine. Chakshuradyanagrahakam. Chakshuranugraham. Chakshu plus adi. That's all. Okay. Here, vividhasya pruthak cheshtaha. Different types of activities. What? Vayaviyaha pranapanadyaha, associated with air. That is, in the body, the air plays a vital role in the body. So what are all those things? Prana, apana, etc., etc. All the activities we do, they happen only by vayu. With the help of vayu only. When we talk, we exhale vayu, and when we do any physical action, we do exhale. And you must have seen if you go to unarmed combat class, for every kai, for every punch also, you are supposed to exhale from the pit of your stomach. From the pit of your stomach, you are supposed to cry loud and then give a punch. So like that. Pranapanadyaha, action. And when you lift something also, you just hold your say prana tight, and then you lift up something. So like that. Pranapanadyaha daivam chaiva daivameva cha atra eteshu. Atra means in these things. Daivam chaiva atra panchamam. Atra means in these things. Panchamam. In these 4. So eteshu panchamam. So all these 4, that is adhishtanam, karta, karanam, then pruthak cheshtaha, in all these things daivam is needed. So in all these things panchamam. In all these things, this daivam comes as the 5th one. In all these 4, daivam comes as the 5th one. So that is what it means. Eteshu chaturshu means in these 4 things, panchamam, panchanam, puranam. This is the one which fulfills all these, say the 4, panchanam, puranam. What is that? Adityadi, chakshuradi, anugrahakam. This Aditya is the anugrahaka devata for chakshu. Then some other dik is the anugrahaka devata for sparsha. Then something else, teja is something, anugrahaka, not tejas, this is prithvi is the anugrahaka devata for this sound of sense of smell. So like that. So this anugrahaka devatas, they are also important. Then sharira iti. Sharira vang mano bhiryat. Yet karma prarabhate naraha. So anyway, we have broken there. Sharira vang mano bhiryat. The karma, it breaks there. Karma prarabhate naraha. Nyayam va viparitam va. Panchaite tasya hetavaha. Okay, sharira vak manobhihi yat karma prarabhate naraha. Naraha, a human being. Yat karma prarabhate, whatever karma he commences, whatever action he commences, by what? Sharira vak manobhihi, by the body, by the mind and by speech. Vak manobhi, sharira vak is voice or speech, manobhihi, manaha. All the 3 put together, manobhihi it becomes tritiya bahuvachana. Sharira vang manobhihi, whatever action a person starts or commences by the body, speech and mind, nyayam va viparitam va, whether it is in accordance with dharma. Nyayam means dharmyam. Dharma, the anapetam dharmyam, that which is not deviating from dharma is dharmyam. Same is the nyayam. Nyayam is something which is in accordance with dharma. Viparitam means contrary. Viparitam is contrary. Contrary to nyaya. That is anyayam, adharmyam. So viparitam va pancha ete tasya hetavaha. Ete pancha. These 5 are the causes there. Hetavaha there. There are the 5 causes. We will see this shloka in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.